Hey, welcome back. I don't know what today looked like for you. It could have been a lot of things. Maybe you had one of those long, slow days that felt like a grind. You know, those days where nothing was technically wrong, but everything felt harder than it needed to be. Or maybe you had one of those days where something actually happened, but the day had an edge to it, a weight you might still be carrying even now. Maybe it was fine. Maybe it was unremarkable in a way that still somehow left you a little hollow. Those days happen too. The ones where you can't point to anything, can't explain why you feel the way you feel because nothing dramatic happened. You just got through the day. And now, here you are, at the end of it. And it's quiet now. Whatever it was, whatever today asked of you, whatever it took, you made it to this part. The quiet part. The part where there's nothing left on the list. No one left to respond to. Nothing left that needs to happen before you close your eyes. So come on in. Settle in. You don't have to be anywhere else right now. This is just a voice in the dark, thinking out loud, keeping you company at the end of a long day. That's all this is. And I hope that's enough. I want to slow things down before we go anywhere. I know slowing down can be hard. Just because you make it to the end of the day doesn't mean your mind automatically slows down. Sometimes the quiet makes it louder in there. All the things you didn't have time to think about during the day start to come to the surface the second you make room for them. That thing you said, that thing you didn't say, that conversation you don't want to have, that question you've been wrestling with for weeks now. If that's happening to you right now, that's okay. You don't have to push it away. Just let it be there. Let it sit in the back while we talk. It's been with you all day. It can wait a little longer. Take a breath if you want to. A slow one. Not because breathing is going to fix anything, but because your body's been running on adrenaline most of the day, and it might not know that the day's over. The day is over. Whatever happened in it, good, bad, unfinished, disappointing, better than expected, it's done. It's already becoming the past. And the night, right now, belongs to you. Just you. Just this. Let's go somewhere with it. There's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Something I keep coming back to. And I'm not too sure how to fully explain it. It has to do with roads, with distance, with the kind of anxiety a lot of us carry around without really naming it. This need to see further ahead than we actually can. There's been a lot of times in my life where I wanted to see the whole road before I would decide to get on it. And I don't just mean literally. I mean it in a bigger way, the life kind of way. I wanted to know how something was going to turn out before I committed to it. I wanted some kind of guarantee before I would take that leap. I thought for a long time that this was being careful, being responsible. I thought I was being the kind of person who thinks things through. And maybe some of it was that. I don't want to be too hard on myself about it. And I don't think you should be too hard on yourself if you recognize what I'm describing. But if I'm being honest, I think a lot of it was just fear. I told myself I was being careful. I wasn't always being careful. Sometimes I was just scared. And the planning gave me something to do while I stood still. But here's the thing. If I never got on the road, I could never end up somewhere I didn't want to be. And from a self-protection standpoint, that logic makes a certain kind of sense. The problem is, it also means you never end up anywhere. What I found, and I want to be careful because I'm still learning this, is that the things in my life I'm most grateful for were almost never the things I saw coming. The friendships that mattered the most to me showed up sideways. The opportunities that changed things arrived in shapes I didn't recognize at first. The turns that really meant something weren't usually the ones that I planned. And the roles I spent the most time preparing for, a lot of those roles I didn't take. Or I took them and they weren't what I expected. Or I was different by the time I arrived than I was when I planned the trip. I'm not saying planning is useless. I'm not saying don't think ahead or consider consequences. What I'm saying is that there's a version of foresight that's useful, and then there's a version that's just a way of standing still while telling yourself you're being smart about it. I've spent more time in that second version than I needed to. I don't think this is just me. Most of us have something we're circling right now. A decision that keeps getting deferred. A direction that keeps getting examined instead of attempted. Something that wants to start. Something in us that knows it wants to start. But we keep finding reasons to wait until we can see it more clearly. Until conditions are better, until we feel more ready than we currently do. And the waiting doesn't feel like fear. That's the thing. It feels like patience. It feels like not rushing. But here's the distinction I keep coming back to. Clarity is having enough information to take the next step. Certainty is knowing how every step after that one is going to go. Clarity is available. Certainty almost never is. And if you're waiting for certainty before you move, you might be waiting for something that isn't coming. There's this thing that happens when you're on a long drive at night. You're out on the highway and it's dark enough that the world has basically disappeared. You can't see the mountains. You can't see the town down the road. You can't see whatever's waiting for you when you get to your destination. You can see maybe 10, 15 feet of road. Just what your headlights can reach. And then it drops off into black. If you think about it too hard, you could talk yourself into pulling over. You could make a very rational argument for stopping. But you don't stop. You keep going. Because 10 feet of road is enough. The road keeps revealing itself as you move. The road shows up. It's been there the whole time. You just couldn't see it yet. Every mile you ever driven at night was driven that way. On 10 feet of visibility at a time. Always has been. I find that comforting. That we've been doing this our whole lives. Moving through the dark on partial information. And somehow, most of the time, we get where we're going. I want to bring up something else too, because I don't want to make this sound more simple than it is. There are things you genuinely cannot know right now. Decisions where the stakes feel so high that it 100% makes sense to want more information than you currently have. Moments where you can feel the weight of what's on either side of a choice, and neither path is visible. And the fact that you can't see isn't just inconvenient, it's painful. I know that feeling. I think most people listening to this know that feeling. The uncertainty we're talking about tonight isn't always the interesting, philosophical kind. Sometimes it's just hard. Sometimes not knowing where you're going feels less like a quiet late night reflection and more like standing in a room with no lights and no sense of where you are in the room. I don't want to talk you out of that feeling if that's where you are. It deserves to be treated like a real feeling. What I'd offer, and it's a small thing, is that not knowing and not moving don't have to live together. You can be genuinely uncertain and still be in motion. You can not have it figured out and still take the next step. You can be someone who doesn't know how the story ends and still show up for the next page. That's not blind optimism. That's just what moving forward actually looks like most of the time. Not confident, not certain, just going. One more mile, one more decision, one more day. And at the end of the day, somehow you're further along than you were. So here's what I keep landing on when I sit with this long enough. You don't need certainty to move. You never did. What you need is just enough. Enough clarity to take the next step. Enough trust that the road will keep showing up as you go. And I think the way forward on nights where it's hard to see is to make the question smaller. Not, where is all this going? That's too big for midnight. But what's the one thing I actually know right now? What's the one step that feels true, even if nothing past it is visible yet? That's your 10 feet of road. That's enough to drive on. The whole road doesn't need to exist yet. It just needs to exist far enough. And in my experience, it tends to. Not always in a direction you plan. Not always on the timeline you want it, but far enough. Just enough light for the next part. So if there's something you've been waiting to start until you could see it clearly, a conversation, a decision, a direction, I'd offer this. You probably already have enough clarity. What you're waiting for is certainty. And certainty is the one thing the road doesn't owe you. Take the step you can see. The rest will show up. You don't have to see the whole road tonight. Whatever you're trying to figure out, whatever question you've been going over and over in your head, whatever next chapter hasn't started yet, whatever direction you're scared to commit to because you can't see where it ends, you don't have to solve it before you sleep. The road will still be there in the morning. The decision will still be there. You don't have to figure out any of it tonight. What you need to do tonight is rest. Let your body do the work of recovering from everything the day demanded. Give your mind a few hours off from trying to see around corners. You've been navigating on partial information your whole life. You know how to do this. You've gotten this far, through every uncertain stretch, every turn you couldn't see coming, every mile driven in the dark, and you're still here. That's worth something. I think it's worth letting it be worth something. 10 feet of road is enough for tonight. Let the night hold the questions you can't answer yet. Let yourself stop driving for a little while and just rest. You've earned the quiet. I'll see you after midnight.